Yes, I think we've both seen how power dynamics in the boardroom can shape not only the conversation, but also the decisions made. And sometimes it's not about formal authority, but the unspoken influence certain people wield.
Absolutely, Lily. Formal titles are one thing, but informal influence, the power of personality, relationships, or even historical contributions can sway the room more than an official position on the org chart.
And those dynamics aren't always obvious to outsiders. For example, you may see a board member quietly listening through most of the meeting, but when they do speak, everyone suddenly leans in. That's soft power at work.
Right, and that's why understanding who holds what kind of power, both formal and informal, is crucial. It's not manipulation, it's about navigating reality.
Let's break that down. In my experience, there are at least 4 major sources of boardroom power. Positional power, authority that comes directly from the role or title. Expert power, influence that comes from specialized knowledge or deep experience. Relational power, the leverage built from strong alliances, trust, and networks. Reputational power, the credibility and respect earned from past successes or integrity.
And sometimes a single board member can have all 4, which makes them incredibly influential. But even then, others may hold different cards. A newer director with niche expertise might disrupt an old guard's dominance if the topic suddenly falls into their domain.
Exactly. And here's where it gets tricky. These power shifts often happen in real time. If a decision touches on cybersecurity, the CIO's voice carries more weight in that moment. If it's a regulatory compliance issue, suddenly the general counsel is in the spotlight.
Which is why the chairperson's role is so important. They have to manage those shifts so that the conversation stays balanced and no single person dominates purely because they're the loudest.
I've seen chairs who are masters at that, subtly redirecting questions, inviting quieter members to speak, or reframing issues so they're not monopolized by one viewpoint.
And I've seen the opposite, where the chair fails to manage the dynamic and the meeting turns into a power play between 2 strong personalities while everyone else just spectates. That's a governance failure in my book, because a board should be a collective brain, not a battleground for ego.
Agreed. And I think a practical takeaway for anyone sitting in a boardroom is observe before acting, notice who influences whom, map alliances and rivalries, understand how they affect debates. Learn the language of influence. It's not just what you say, it's how and when you say it.
And I'll add, power is not inherently bad, it's how it's used. The best leaders in the boardroom use their influence to lift the quality of decisions, not to push personal agendas.
Well said. And for those aspiring to be effective board members, remember influence is earned, not demanded.
And once earned, it comes with the responsibility to use it wisely.